now let's talk more a little bit about your investment strategies in the crypto space. I think that's also a lot of my audience would like to hear about. So when you look at the investment opportunities in the crypto space, right, what are the key perspectives that you consider?
So the key perspectives that we consider. So we are investing across all of the verticals. So that covers the entire Web3 space. But we're mainly focused on token investments. We think that if you're a Web3 company and you are designing your value accruals and your business models properly to be Web3 native, then it makes sense to have a token. And we like the shorter time to liquidity, higher velocity types of investments that token assets can provide. So we're mainly focused on tokens versus equity, although we do have many investments where it's considered like a safe plus token warrant. So we have the downside protection of having a convertible note that converts to equity, and also the token as the main kind of alpha driver. It's good to have the equity at time, especially if there's a lot of IP and kind of residual value that you can potentially sell the company for if it doesn't go well. But there are, I would say, 5 categories that we're currently focus a lot of our time on. And so those categories are, one would be consumer, mainstream. As the space gets more adoption from mainstream, I think that leads itself to more consumer applications that get created. And within that, you have social media, content ownership, DAOs, decentralized identification, ID. And so that's one big category. Kind of another category that's similar to that is gaming, metaverse. Very consumer focused, and we have made investments historically in this space, and we will continue to do so. I say 25-30% of our companies in our portfolio are in the gaming metaverse. And then number 3 would be kind of composable financial systems, sustainable DeFi as a subcategory, off-chain infra, regenerative finance, refi. So everything that's going on in the kind of the carbon credit space would fall into that. Payments and settlement would be under the composable financial systems category. Fourthly, it would be decentralized infrastructure, so data platforms, blockchain automation, to cross-chain infra and communication. As more and more chains come out, there needs to be we believe in a multi-chain world. And number 5 would be next generation blockchain tech, and that could be new types of L1s, L2s. You're seeing a lot of buzz around Aptos and Sui. DK proofs and security and any type of next gen tech that's getting built for the space.
Great. But if you are asked to pick one, you're gonna bet heavily on, what will be the category out of the 5 that you just mentioned?
I think the ones that if you look at traditional venture, some of the largest companies that get made are consumer companies, right? It's the riskiest, but I think crypto lends itself to being very consumer retail centric, and changing the way that users can interact with their applications. So I think consumer, the first category I mentioned, will be large for us, and that's the case. But we would be remiss to not mention that financial systems and composable financial systems, to be specific, which is the third category I mentioned, is kind of like the low-hanging fruit when it comes to investing in crypto. There's massive amounts of volumes, dollars flowing through the traditional financial world, and crypto has done a decent job capturing a small sliver of that, through DeFi summer and all the the focus now on derivatives and options now in the space. Great, what people are considering sustainable DeFi. yields that are sustainable.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're seeing more and more kind of interactions between, TradFi, traditional finance world, with DeFi, and crypto in general, and Web3 in general. So when the on and off ramps get solved, the problems there, and the larger institutions kind of feed more into and buy more into the space, I think that's when magic can be happening. And we've talked to a lot of large institutions in the Web2 world, TradFi world, the Blackstones of the world that are all now, really focused on how to use, crypto for their own, blockchain tech for their own existing portfolio companies.